Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer the questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
So without further ado, let's get to the questions. That I picked this time. I did. Me.
Alright. Which is better, Snapdragon 660 or Snapdragon 820 in gaming, multitasking and all of this stuff?
See, we haven't used the 660 yet, so I can't confirm this, but logically going by Qualcomm's track record, the 820 should be the better chip.
Yeah, and going by specs.
Going by specs, yeah. So generally this is how it is. A newer mid-range chip is not going to outperform last year's flagship. That isn't how it works. The 660, an educated guess, I would say the 660 will be more power efficient. It might, because it doesn't have the high performance cores. But I mean, I don't even remember what the configuration is, to be honest. I'm guessing it should be A53s.
No, I think it's 4 Cryo cores.
It's
Custom,
Cryo.
yeah, Cryo.
Custom from the A53s. Probably, but okay, whatever. Given it's a mid-range chip, it will have a few new optimizations, current gen optimizations, but it is not. It shouldn't be outperforming the 820 as far as I can say.
Should I buy the Moto G5 Plus or should I wait for G5S or G5S Plus? I need to get one before 13th of August.
The same reply as always, get the phone that's available right now.
Yeah.
G5S Plus, we've been hearing rumors about it. It might become reality because hell, it's Lenovo, they're going to launch as many as possible. But 13th August, it's July. I don't know, you'd probably wait a couple of weeks if you really have to. But the G5 Plus is quite a good phone. I'd probably buy it. If you have an urgent need to upgrade right now, then yes. If you want to wait, then yeah. But then there's always going to be something new around the corner. By the time the G5 S Plus rolls out, you'd probably be seeing rumors of the G6 Plus.
At what price do you think Samsung will relaunch Note 7 Fan Edition in India? Is it still worthy to buy this device?
Question for both. See, going by the prices that Samsung's launched it in Korea, I'm guessing it should come under the 40,000 rupee mark if it does actually come.
$600, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
600, 550, 600.
599.
599. So yeah, it should be around the 40,000 rupee mark. In India, 39,999 might make sense.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would feel would be. I mean, 30,000 would be a great price, but then given that it's Samsung and all, a realistic expectation of sensible pricing, sensible Samsung pricing would be 39,990.
Sensible pricing even, because it still has a
Exynos
8890.
Yeah, but then it's still a refurb, right?
Yeah.
For a refurb, 30,000 would be
30 or 35.
hell of a deal.
40k would be
40k
okay.
would be still like fan edition, right? It's like only for fans. As a fan, we could still buy it, but then that's what I'd expect it to be. But then we don't have any confirmation of. Hang on, okay, Mike. We don't have any confirmation of if or when it's launching in India yet. Follow me on Twitter at C4E Tech, and I'll keep you updated as and when we get to know more.
Any plans on buying and reviewing the Doogee mix or
Doogee mix? I don't know. How do you pronounce it? You guys let us know. Doogee mix. So yeah, if you want to see that on the channel, let us know in the comments below and we will make it happen.
Yeah. Does Banggood.com charge import fees to India? I was thinking of buying a phone from there.
Nope. Banggood doesn't charge import fees, but then again, the government does. The Indian government does. So it doesn't matter where you buy a phone from, as long as it's gonna enter India, pass through customs, you have a good chance of being billed duties on it.
Amazon.com will charge.
Amazon is the only one that we know of
that'll charge import
I mean, again,
fees.
they're just calculating it and collecting it when you make the payment right there. Again, that's only for...
And they'll refund the balance, right?
If there's a change with that. Yeah. But that's only for, what do you say, like fulfilled by Amazon stuff, not for third-party sellers on Amazon, like who aren't going through that program. But with Amazon, it's possible, but barring that, with most other websites, it's only gonna happen when it comes to India.
Honor 8 Pro or OnePlus 5? Please tell me the best one according to you.
So this is like spoilers, right? I mean, you've been asking us for a full comparison. If we can't just give all that away, it's like, in WWE, you're not gonna see it on Raw. You need to wait for the pay-per-view. Okay, you're not gonna give a championship match away for free on Raw. So yeah, stay tuned for WrestleMania.
As of now, we have a speed test comparison between them.
Not between them, it's between the 8 Pro and the S8,
Okay, yeah,
right?
the
So,
S8. Yeah, but still watch.
See, okay, here is why I'm gonna kill my own viewership. See guys, Honor 8 Pro, you've got a better display, as in a higher resolution display. Of course, AMOLED, for some people, AMOLED is gonna be important, but then again, there's a higher resolution display. It's got, as far as the power goes, yes, the OnePlus 5 has the better chip. 835 will outperform the 960, but for all intents and purposes, with your day-to-day usage, the Kirin 960 is gonna be quite good. I highly doubt it would beat a 835 in a speed test, but if you'd want to see that, let us know in the comments below. We'll try to make that happen. But then again, for even if it doesn't, for all intents and purposes, it is an excellent chip. The S8 performs well. The 8 Pro beats the S8 in a speed test.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I didn't expect it. I mean,
beats it by quite a margin, by the way. So that's there, and again, you get double the storage with an option of expanding via micro SD, a better battery. But then again, on the OnePlus 5 side of things, you've got an extremely snappy interface. I mean, even the OnePlus 3T performs well because that's how close to stock and optimized Oxygen OS is. So that OnePlus has that going for them. It's got better optics. The Honor 8 Pro is using last generation Huawei optics, the one from the Honor 8. It's excellent. Not the P10, the P9.
Yeah.
It's excellent, but I have a stinking suspicion that the OnePlus 5 would beat it. So that's there. And of course, AMOLED lovers, you've got the deep blacks, inky blacks of AMOLED there. So, and again, price-wise, the 8 Pro makes sense. The 8 Pro is one of those unique devices that's priced cheaper in India than abroad because in other markets, it's priced higher and they're selling only the 64 gig variant.
Okay.
So, I mean, for me, it's like...
It's the same with the Honor 6X.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like, for once, Indians aren't paying higher. We aren't paying higher for something.
Huawei's respecting us.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not really about the respect. It just makes more marketing sense for them. And for once, it's working in our favor, right? So yeah, that's cool.
Best phone under 18K. Camera is a priority. Which one should I prefer?
G5 Plus or
Honor 8?
Mi 5?
Yeah.
Mi 5 is not under 18, but around that mark. So Mi 5.
It's 23K right now.
Okay.
So the Honor 8 is priced at around 19K.
Yes,
Last
the Honor
week
8
it was
would be
something.
Okay, then the Honor 8 would be a good pick here.
If the S8 with Snapdragon was available alongside the Exynos version, which one would you pick and why?
I wouldn't really have a...
Yeah.
See, in the past, there have been major changes. Like at one point, it was like
Snapdragon
you'd either get
a better GPU.
No, it was a dual-core Snapdragon with 2 gigs of RAM or a quad-core Exynos with 1 gig of RAM. Okay, so there you had more questions, and then you had like a quad-core Snapdragon versus a octa-core Exynos. And these were when you had a lot of questions on, should I pick this, should I pick that, would that be better? And I think even once Samsung later on actually launched the Snapdragon variant in India, I think that was the S5, and of course we've got people outside. I mean, I really think there are people who wait outside, wait for me to start rolling the camera and then start yelling. So sorry about the cut there. Overall, as of today, Exynos Snapdragon, it doesn't make a difference. It's more or less similar performance, so go with either one.
What Sony should do in order to increase the sales of Xperia smartphones other than pricing and specs? Marketing? What do you think?
See, Sony has kind of given up on it. Like, if you've seen, Sony have come out and officially said that, they're just going to be staying in the game till the game changes. They don't want to shut down their smartphone division, but they aren't really focusing on it anymore. They need their whole outlook on smartphones needs to change. So, if you look at my Z5 review, again, card here. If you look at my Z5 review, or was it the XZ review? XZ, sorry, the XZ review. There were so many minor software glitches or software issues with Sony smartphones that have actually been there for almost 5 years. So, addressing these would be a start. And of course, the pricing and, launching a Snapdragon 650 at 50K, 48K, I mean, what were they thinking? Of course, you said barring pricing, so I'm not gonna delve into the pricing aspect of things, but then they need to start taking the market a little seriously and come out with, not expecting Sony to compete with OnePlus, but if a OnePlus 5 is available at 33, a Sony XZ, whatever it is that they're selling right now at 40 would make a lot of sense.
But maybe they don't care because they have other divisions.
They have, yeah, that's exactly. They're not really focusing on their smartphone segment. They're not really trying to move those phones. They're happy with those core Sony fans who are willing to pay the premium and buy those phones. They're just happy with that. They're not trying to grow. They're not fighting. They need to fight. And Sony fighting is actually a nice thing to see because that's what they did. Microsoft came in with the Xbox. Sony had the advantage. They came in with the 360, kind of blew Sony's advantage with the PS3. Sony kind of had to go on the back foot, but then they came back all guns blazing with the PS4, and that was brilliant. So Sony can do great stuff as long as they are in the chase mode. And again, we've seen that with the cameras as well, right? The mirrorless cameras, the A6000, the A6300, excellent cameras. And again, the A7, the A7S, the A7S2. I mean, what do you say? Class leading low light performance. And the FS7 that we are currently shooting on, one of the best bang for your buck video cameras out there. Sony, when they are in chase mode, are excellent, but with smartphones, they just seem to have given up the might of Samsung and Apple, and the whole Chinese Chinese attack on the price front. It just leaves them with no breathing space, I guess. But that's what I'd probably like to see Sony change. I'd like to see them fight.
Don't you think Huawei is kind of underrated? Because ever since the Nexus 6P, they have delivered solid offerings.
They're kind of underrated for two reasons. One, in India, they don't have a huge presence, as in they do market, but then again, they get overshadowed by, well, Oppo and Vivo, because you can't just go like 5 feet without, seeing an Oppo or Vivo something. That's there. But when you look at it, this is what it is. Huawei does not have the kind of carrier, carrier tie-ups in the US like what Apple or Samsung have. So basically they don't get a lot of popularity in the US, which means they aren't priority for reviewers out in the West, and which means it just doesn't trickle down. Okay. And given that their flagship phones don't get launched in India either, as in the Honor series does, but the Mate and the P series, they don't launch in India. The P9 did, the P10 didn't. The Mate 9, the Mate 8, the last Mate that launched in India was the Mate 2, I guess. So given that, that's where, so you don't get a lot of coverage in other markets as well. So online, you don't hear a lot about Huawei. It's not that they're underrated. They're one of the top smartphone makers, one of the top brands out there. There's a reason why Google keeps working with them, right? So that's that.
Yeah, but they're doing better with regards to marketing.
They're doing much better with marketing. They are improving with marketing.
The 6X was being marketed.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, they're not out marketing Oppo or Vivo, right?
No, that's like impossible. One of our friends, Shahrukh, his aunt went to a Purvika or some mobile store, and the salesmen were actually literally showing Oppo and Vivo down their throats.
Yeah, but then didn't she actually end up buying a Samsung?
Yeah, Oppo, Vivo, Samsung.
So basically, there were people who were telling that a J7 2016 or something was better than the Redmi Note 4, and that's what she needed to get. And the Redmi Note 4 had a lot of issues.
Just that. It seems he said the Redmi Note 4 is a
failure model.
A failure model. Are you looking forward to the live action series of Death Note from Netflix, or you feel the anime was better?
I never got around to watching the anime, so that's like one of the things on my... It's always been on my to-do list, so it's been recommended by so many people, but I've never been able to get a good quality print of Death Note. So every time I turn it on and then I see that, it's like a 240p or 360p, and I look at it, I'm like, let me watch something else.
It might still be worth it. We watched Fresh Prince at 480p, I guess.
That's like 360 to 40. I don't care. But like, I'd watch Fresh Prince at like 144p even. I don't care. That's like Will Smith. A 17-year-old Will Smith. So that's like hell of fun. But Death Note, again, anime is not really my thing. So I haven't gotten around to watching it. But you know, live action series, I'd probably get a HD print and definitely watch it.
What's your high score in Crossy Road, and what are your favorite mobile games except FPS ones?
You tell me what's my high score on Crossy Road. It's on my Instagram feed. You tell me what it is. So it's like 500 and something, guys. I'm not really going to use it as a push for my Instagram, but
my current favorite game is Fidget Spinner.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's awesome. Cool. I mean, all Kitchap games are awesome.
For me,
you just get instantly addicted to them.
For me, it's Plants vs. Zombies 2. That's the game I've played the longest, I guess. As in, I play it for a couple of months and then I get bored, I delete it.
Is it the Farmville version of... I mean, it's the smartphone version of Farmville?
Yeah. Plants vs. Zombies 2 is like... Nah, it has nothing to do with Farmville.
Okay. I'm just confused. What do you think will Xiaomi launch? Its flagship Mi 6 or it'll just be the Mi Max 2 this July?
Okay. The heart wants the Mi 6, the brain says Mi Max 2. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Because if at all Xiaomi launches the Mi 6 in India, I'm expecting it to be priced aggressively. Yesterday, I just posted a link on Twitter to the Mi 6 on eBay.in. You can actually get it for 32,000 with a coupon applied.
Cool, but even that's higher, right? It's like a 25 grand phone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, generally when phones that are not launched in India, that are not available in India officially.
So but then you say that the Mi 6 is actually worth a 32?
No, not 32.
Okay.
See, what I'm trying to say is phones that are not
available in India is always priced higher.
Priced higher. So when Xiaomi brings it to India, it should probably be priced around 26, 27. So that's what I'm expecting. 26 or
even
27
on eBay, you say even now an imported unit on eBay.
I mean, if you absolutely want a Mi 6 over a OnePlus 5, then yeah, 30K.
So at 30K also, but even if let's say it's available at 30, it would be a good price. Cool. Then why the hell am I selling you my Mi 6 for 28? Pay me 30.
Because it's used.
No, thank you. It's a seal opened by customs. Okay. Thank you, guys. I just earned 2,000 bucks. Yes.
Who are there in your family? Do you have kids? Please take my question. Want to know you better.
Yeah, no kids. My family is me, my wife, and these guys. This guy and Shahrukh and...
From C4E Tech Tamil.
Yeah. And my dad passed away in 2008. My mom lives in Dubai and we're kind of in and out of touch from time to time. So that's family. Peace. And he won't talk about his family because if you ask him about his family, he says, don't talk about my family. So,
I've never actually said that.
Okay, he says it in Tamil. I can translate it. He says, Appa pati pesa dinga na.
I didn't say
which
that
literally
either.
translates to don't talk about my dad.
I didn't say that either.
You never said.
I didn't.
Liar, pants on fire.
I have about 20k and I want to buy a piece of tech. What should I buy? It can be anything, iPod, smartphone or tablet.
Dude, at 20k, I would recommend the Nvidia Shield. That's probably the one piece of tech that I use a lot. I use it all the time, every single day. I don't, of course, amongst the things that I bought for myself, not for C4E Tech, but for me personally, when I buy something too late in the product cycle, I don't really cover it on C4E Tech. So that's why you've never seen Shield videos. But the Nvidia Shield is one. The QC35s are another. Even the QC35s are not must-have because the Bose sound support is again excellent in-ear stuff that I love using. But the Nvidia Shield, oh my god, that is probably my absolute favorite piece of tech that I've spent money on in the last few years. So if I had 20,000 bucks today and I didn't have a Shield, that's what I'd buy. It's actually $200. So maybe with import costs or something around 15-16k. Or if you could get somebody to carry it for you, or if it's available on eBay or something. It doesn't matter if you're buying the new Shield or the old one. If you find the old one cheaper, buy the old one. It's the same internals. The new one is just a little bit more compact and it doesn't matter. The old one is quite small by itself. And a revamped controller, but yeah. I don't use it for game or something, but then Netflix, Amazon Prime, Kodi, it's awesome.
Which phone's stereo speaker setup you like the most?
As of today,
iPhone 7.
It would be iPhone 7, but all time would be the HTC Boom Sound ones, the ones with stereo front-facing speakers. Those were awesome. And because they were awesome, what did HTC do? But yeah, those were my favorite. because the iPhone speakers are loud and clear. And of course, because it's got IP certification, I take it to the bathroom with me when I shower. So that's cool and all. But the HTC speakers had some bass on them. I mean, I know it's like small, little, tiny smartphone speakers, but it was satisfying. You know, I can actually hear bass on my smartphone. That was a unique thing, and unfortunately, it wasn't very marketable, and HTC ended up, you know, scrapping that. But then, that's something. Those are my favorite stereo speaker implementation. What about you?
iPhone 7.
Of course.
Will you be doing another tech creator hunt like you did last time, but on a larger scale?
I really think last time was on a huge scale. Yeah. I don't think we can go larger than that. We might be able to do another, but then again, it depends on Ranjit's schedule and if he's willing to do one. So we'll have to talk to him about it. It's something we keep talking about, but we haven't really managed to agree on concrete dates and whatever. But it involves a lot of coordination between me and Ranjit, and it's just like in the last few months we haven't had a lot of time to talk to each other. We speak like once a week maybe, so it's something that's been on our minds. We'd probably try to get something happening.
What changes would you like to see on the Note 8 from the S8? Will people buy the Note 8 given what happened to the Note 7?
People are buying the Note 7, dude, so I really don't think whatever happened to the Note 8 would be a problem.
People forget.
Yeah, and even if some people are, you know, a little bit cautious about it, they'd probably wait for a month and buy it as long as they don't read any reports. Changes, I would love to see that fingerprint scanner come underneath the display. I would love to see, I don't care if they kill the infinity display and just put it up front, or if they go with something like a circular fingerprint scanner like what you'd get on a Redmi device. I mean, it's cheap, it's on a Redmi, but that's not going to happen. But that's what I'd love to see. And of course, the S Pen and...
The Mi 6 has a fingerprint scanner under the glass. It's an ultrasonic scanner, right?
Yeah, but not buried underneath the display, dude.
Okay. Yeah,
underneath the display, well, who's doing it? Meizu's doing it, I guess?
Vivo.
Vivo. Okay, Vivo's doing it first. Alright, cool. So, yeah, that's not happening with the Note 8. They can't do it on a mass scale right now, so they're probably not going to do it. Dual cameras, yeah, it would be cool, but that's not a deal breaker. The S8's camera.
Okay, we want the S8's camera
plus an extra camera, not a trade-off. But then that's how it's gonna be probably. Second camera would be an added advantage. And here's the part where I keep forgetting this image, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. Now, I just want you guys to rewind back to the opening of the video and just see where his hand was. And now you can skip to 10 minutes ahead from here and you can see where his hand is. It would again be here.
You can actually make a time lapse.
Yeah, time lapse and focus on his hand and how it moves like. And then there'll be a slap and then it goes like this. And he'll be like this for a while. So anyway, that's what I like to see with the Note 8. I don't mind if they forsake the infinity display. Again, it's not going to happen. But for me, it's just the fingerprint scanner's placement's really weird. That is one area I'd love to change. And of course, RAM management, if they could tune that up from the S8 and make the transitions faster, but then you can do it manually. So that's that. But if they made the transitions faster, the Note 8 would win a lot more speed tests and people would stop being pissed at us. So from a C4A Tech point of view, Samsung, please make your transitions faster. We are just leaving it stock with all devices and the S8 suffers and people get pissed at us. I mean at him, not at me or Harris.
Office and status.
So yeah, we were looking at this one apartment. So that was a cluster bleep. Okay, because I'm just too lazy to bleep it out. So I'm just gonna start saying bleep. Okay.
We got really close though.
We got really close. It was a 28th floor apartment. It was like a big apartment that we could work out of. We are bringing one more person on board soon. So it was all good. But then those guys started off at a price and then once they found that we were interested, they kind of increased the price by, how much was it? 10%, and we were still cool. Okay, fine. We still needed the place. We were willing to sign, and then they hiked it up by another 15% again. It's like, what the hell? 25% overall, like from 3,300 square feet, they jumped up to 4,300 square feet. I was like, no, thank you. So yeah, that's there, and so we've dropped that.
The hunt continues.
The hunt continues. We're just looking to find any gated communities, probably a villa or something that we could work out of. So yeah, that's kind of hard to find in our budget because the budget's kind of limited. So yeah, you're gonna continue seeing us in this setup for a while, unfortunately.
What's your favorite UI on a mobile?
Ignore stock Android and iOS. Oxygen OS. I mean, every time you ask, I give you a different answer. Okay, because it depends on what phone I've been using recently. Yeah. Oxygen OS. MUI is okay, but Oxygen OS. What am I using right now? I'm using the J7 Max, so that's not gonna influence me. So yeah, Oxygen
of course
OS.
Not. Oxygen OS.
What do I hate the most? MIUI. Why? Because Xiaomi doesn't let me unlock my bootloader, which means I am using MIUI with that crappy Google Play fix, meaning I keep getting so many crashes. MIUI by itself, I don't hate it, but on the Mi 6, it's extremely fast. It's awesome, but without the ability to flash the global ROM on it, I'm using the workaround, which means I get a lot of crashes for Google Play stuff alone. So of course you have a workaround for how to flash the how to flash the global ROM, for which I need a deep flash cable that I've ordered, and once I get it, I'd probably do that, and then I'd go back to not hating MIUI.
I'm using a OnePlus 3T.
Awesome.
Recommend upgrade to 5?
Nope. Dude, you've got the hashtag right. VRC4E.
Yeah.
You're awesome. But how many times have I answered this in the past? No one generation upgrades unless you're using a Moto G4 Plus. That is the only time I would recommend a single generation upgrade. Otherwise, the 3T is still an amazing phone. Is the OnePlus 5 great? Yes, it is. But does that mean the 3T stopped being great? No, the 3T is still an excellent phone. It is rapid, fast. It's the phone that beat the S8 and Speedtest, right? I mean, it is rapid, fast. It hasn't gotten any slower just because the OnePlus 5 is out. So the 3T is still a killer phone. I wouldn't recommend you upgrading from the 3T unless and until you're just, somebody else is paying for the phone. If that's the case, yeah, why not? I mean, send us your 3T.
How do you make your phone stand?
Put the phone in front, and then pray it doesn't fall. That's what happened to the A7 2017, right? So I was shooting on the terrace and I just placed it, and then it was windy. It just fell like this, and then the back cracked.
When buying a phone, how much value should be given to the SAR value? Do Lenovo phones have a higher SAR in general?
Do you have a value below 0 to give? Because you need to give exactly 0. That's the value you need to assign to SAR values. Guys, this is what it is, right? There is a legal limit above which they're not allowed to sell phones. Okay, so that it's a stringent norm, especially in India. India has India's adopted one of the more stringent norms. So if the value is over that is a value that people who have done more research than me or you or any YouTuber or any person who's talking about SAR values, and they've said this is a legally acceptable limit. This is not going to affect people, and this is the limit above which you're not supposed to sell phones. So anything under that has been tested. They've done tests, they've done studies, and they've found that to be not harmful. So then what's the point if it's like a little bit below that or a lot below that? It's not going to make any difference. So SAR values are like one of those things in informational booklets that you don't read. But then again, for some reason, people keep asking it and we need to keep showing it. But please do not give any weightage to SAR value information because it really doesn't matter.
Is Honor 8 Pro the best phone under 30K? And how fluid is the Kirin 960? Because it's never used an Honor phone.
Kirin 960 is surprisingly smooth. Here's my relationship with Kirin chips, right? In the past, though, the SNP6, the SNP7, I hated the Kirin chips. Okay, I hated the Emotion UI. it was slow compared. It wasn't even comparable to any Qualcomm chips, not even the flagship chips, the second level chips. It wasn't even comparable, and it was really not that good. I mean, it was a compromise. The Kirin chips were a negative, but now Huawei's come a long way. The Kirin 960 is almost as good as a Snapdragon 835. CPU wise, it is almost as good. GPU wise, it slots somewhere around a little over the Adreno 530 from Snapdragon 820. Overall, it will slot somewhere between the 821 and the 835. That said, for all intents and purposes, with day-to-day usage, you're going to have a great experience. So under 30K, anything short of Xiaomi launching the Mi 6, the Underrated Pro is going to be the best pick.
Where is the speed test between Moto C Plus versus Redmi 4 2GB RAM? I'm actually working.
Okay, there's no card. He can't leave a card because the video goes live only on Monday. Yes.
Tuesday.
Tuesday maybe,
yeah,
I don't
Tuesday.
know. Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. And if you really badly want to watch a speed test, then watch the Moto C Plus versus Nokia 3.
Don't watch it. That's not a speed test. That's a slow test.
This one's probably a slow test too.
It's actually surprising. You know, you think the Redmi 4 is gonna kill the Nokia 3?
Please. No spoilers.
Wait and watch.
What if you break a phone that came for review from the brand? Do they ask for compensation?
Dude, I'm pretty sure he's addressing this question to you. I'm like quite confident that when this guy was writing the question, he was picturing you in his head.
You broke the SIM slot of the Xiaomi Redmi. I mean,
that's a phone I paid and bought, dude. We had some external disturbances, so just coming back. So yeah. So it's happened a couple of times. Once it was the Note Edge, and another time it was
E5.
the Xperia Z5. So
Mi 5 too.
Mi 5 no. Oh yeah, Mi 5. Yeah. No, Mi 5 was my phone. It wasn't the brand phone. So with the Z5, it wasn't really, we didn't break the phone, it just got a little bit dinged up. And the Note Edge, the screen got cracked. And both times we offered to pay the brand, and they didn't collect it. But then if they wanted the money, we have to pay. That's how it is. But both times, thank you Sony and thank you Samsung. They didn't make us pay, but we did offer.
Will c4etech.com be back somewhere in future? I mean, you could directly copy paste your video scripts.
Yeah, my video scripts can be read only by me. Alright? I mean, that is the most horrendous piece of writing you would ever come across. Alright? There's no punctuations. And
not really.
Most of the things is...
Harris's is bad.
No, see, it's like... I spell things weird. I mean, as long as I can read it when I'm typing, there's a typo, I don't go back and correct it. And I don't use punctuations. I just leave spaces or use 3 dots, because when it's on a teleprompter, you don't want it punctuated. You don't want 2 spaces in between. I want it all to continue flowing. So one of my friends was actually going through a script of mine. He made a few edits and he created a few spaces in between for formatting. And then I put it on the teleprompter and then I start going through the script, and then there's like awkward pauses in between where I wait for the teleprompter to catch up. So that doesn't work. So my scripts cannot be copy pasted onto a website. So that's not gonna happen. But c4etech.com is something we would like to bring, but then as of now, absolutely no time.
We can embed the videos themselves.
We can embed the videos, but then again, it's a chore. I mean, probably once the next person we're supposed to be bringing on board comes on board, we might just start embedding videos. It wouldn't be a full-fledged website. It'll still be in beta, but it would be somewhere you can also see the videos. I mean, I don't know why you would want to, but then we'd probably get some sponsors, put some ads somewhere. I don't know. But it's not priority. It's not something that's in my head right now. Right now, there's just one priority. Make sure Sundar doesn't break any more things. Okay. In all seriousness, find an office. Find somewhere to go to.
Redmi Note 5 expectations.
So initially, we had some rumors stating it's gonna come with a
18:9
aspect ratio. Now again, just look at it. Look at it. This is the halfway mark. This is the halfway.
Okay.
You pull your hand and say okay.
I didn't pull my hand.
He did. Go back. Rewind. Watch it.
Rewind. Watch it.
Okay. So anywho, we had rumors that it's gonna come with a 18:9 aspect ratio, but then there's another Xiaomi phone that's rumored to come with it right now. So maybe That might not be the Redmi Note 5, and the Redmi Note 5 might come with a regular aspect ratio. 660 expectations, probably 660, a similar build.
630.
630?
Yeah.
660.
625 on the Redmi Note 4. 630 makes more sense.
But then 652 on the Redmi Note 3, 660 makes more sense.
650 on the Redmi Note 3.
650, yeah.
50. And they came back to 625 for a reason.
I know, because they didn't have anything else in that segment.
Okay.
I don't know, I'd probably be maybe 630, 660, two versions, with one with 3 gigs of RAM, another with 3.15 4 gigs of RAM, whatever. I don't know, 630, 660, possibly. I would be happy if it was a 660. And knowing Xiaomi, it would be a marginally improved camera, like real marginally improved, but then they will have amazing pictures of the presentation saying shot with Redmi Note 4. And then also do check Redmi Note 5. Do check out MKBHD's video on equipment that you use with the cameras. This is one video. I'll probably leave a link to that in the description, because they're not going to use cards to leave a link to somebody else's videos. That's not C4E Tech. I'm just being frank and honest here. But then there'll be a link in the description. Check that out. That's where he talks about how all these Apple photos with, like, you know, shot on an iPhone, and how they actually get shot, and like how many thousands of dollars are spent on other equipment, though the sensor is the phone sensor.
Yeah, I know.
So that way, that's probably how all those Redmi Note 4 shot with the Redmi Note 4 images come up to. So I don't have high hopes on the camera, but it would be awesome if they do. Expectations, if they do it, it would be awesome. But then cameras and Redmi haven't always gone. So I'm expecting a 660. 630 would be underwhelming, dudes. They're not gonna, the SoCs they're serious about, they generally give good SoCs. So I'm gonna say 1080p, 13 megapixel camera. Now they're gonna go back and say pixel size matters, and they're just gonna make the resolution. I don't know, they keep changing that. Okay, once it's like smaller pixels are better, once like, okay, anyway, whatever, 13 megapixel or 12 megapixel camera, full HD display, 4200 milliamp hour battery. MIUI 9. Let's see.
Would you consider Huawei as top tier brand, given that
they make their own chip? If yes, thoughts on pricing of the Honor 8 Pro? Yes, I would consider Huawei a tier 1 brand, top tier brand. Let's use that. Huawei, I mean, it's actually a bit of a yes and a no. Huawei is way too big to be considered and just another Chinese brand. Yeah. But at the same time, they just don't have the flagship experience of a Samsung or an Apple. They have been producing great flagships for the last 2 years. The P9 was great. The P10 was great. But before that, the Mate 9 is the P9. The Mate 9 is the P10. As in, it's like what a Note S to a S is the Mate to a P. So ever since the Honor 8, they have these weird numbers, right? So Honor 8 Honor 8, the P9 share some similarities. The P9 and the Mate 8 share similarities. The Mate 9 and the P10 share similarities.
And we have the Honor 9.
Yeah, the Honor 9 has come out, and I'm trying to get one. Hopefully, let's see. So Huawei they're too good with their phones to not be considered a tier 1 brand, and they also have. They've also have the market share for that. They've also been doing a lot of big things. So they aren't just another startup, but at the same time, they just don't have the flagship experience to compete with a Samsung or an Apple in the public eye.
As per the current situation in YouTube, are you making profits or eating into your earlier ones? Is it actually that serious?
Given that, I mean, it's like, since I pay him $87 or $83 every month, I have to eat into my profits, unfortunately. Sundar, the profit killer. And guys, it's like, you know, sponsors help out. I mean, I'm not gonna go around saying, oh my god, I don't make any money. I make decent money, but not enough to buy a good apartment. But yeah, we could find something, hopefully. It's not bad. It's not bad. YouTube is I'm definitely thankful for YouTube for being what it is, despite all those words and all the ugly stuff on YouTube. I'm still thankful for being here. I'm still thankful to YouTube for letting me do what I do. what I love doing as a business, as a profession. So it's still a wonderful place to be. And of course, I've got all you wonderful people watching, so that is just icing on the cake.
Which microphones do you use for recording voiceovers?
So this is what we use whenever you see us sitting on camera, then it's going to be the Rode NT-G3. Whenever we are off camera,
so Zoom H6.
Zoom H6.
How many people are currently working for C4E Tech? Are all full-time?
So C4E Tech, it's me and Sundar, full-time. My wife helps out with edits. C4E Tech Tamil, Harris is again, he's a part-timer. C4E Tech Tamil, it's me and Shahrukh, the guy who interrupted the video a little while back. So yeah, he's full-time too. There's one more guy who should be coming in soon. That's a potential hire for C4E Tech. You don't get to skip questions. Read the question. Do your job.
Cut Sundar's hair on cam.
See guys, I would love to do that, and he also has no problems with it. He just needs 3,000 retweets on this tweet, and you can find a link to this tweet in the description below. We've been leaving that link for weeks. We are currently at around 500-600 retweets. Okay.
By the time it reaches like 2,900, I'll actually
you can shave your head.
4,000.
And you don't get to hike stuff. So please do us all a favor. Just click on that. Go ahead, retweet. And let's make it happen. Let's make Sundar's hair great again.
I'd actually love to get a haircut right now. Not on cam. Not on cam though. Not on cam.
You know, that's our most, barring you're paid and biased on every speed test, that is our most popular comment. Sundar, get a haircut.
I know. Which is your preferred dual camera setup? That's the most asked question on and off cam.
On and off cam.
Which is your preferred dual camera setup? Telephoto for depth, RGB and mono for details, or wide angle?
I am greedy AF. My favorite setup is the Huawei P10 setup, which has all that. It's got an RGB and mono. It's got, it doesn't have exactly a telephoto, but the second sensor is 20 megapixels, which means you get a 12 megapixel lossless zoom.
Megapixels.
It's a crop, but then it's still 12 megapixels. You get zoom. So that's there. And it also has it doesn't have a portrait mode per se, but then you get variable aperture. You get to play around with it even in post. So it's got the depth information
quite accurate
going for it as well. So for me, I'd have to go with that. That's my favorite implementation. What about you?
Same.
Same. Wow, I should let you go first and just said same.
Yeah, you could have.
Time in. Yeah, my grandmom was calling. Sorry, guys.
Your thoughts on the rumored S8 Mini with Snapdragon 821?
4 GB of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. Take a guess at the price too. My guess for the price would be 39,999 rupees. I would feel that's a great price, but then Samsung might launch it at 42,999 rupees because they are Samsung.
That's not bad either.
That wouldn't be bad either, but still, it is the last generation chip. Just look at it. The Galaxy S7 has, okay, it's an Exynos,
but then the Exynos 8890.
Yeah, it's still the S7 same specs. All they're doing is just give. S7 was like 64 default or 32.
32.
Okay, so they're just going with a smaller display than the S7, and the S7 is selling at around the 40 mark. So don't you think
it should be around 5.2 inches, right? The S8 Mini.
No, S8 Mini would be lesser. The S7 was what?
5.2.
Okay, that would be an infinity display.
Yeah, infinity display.
Then 40K would make sense. Yeah, sorry. I got confused there. But then again, I hope for the day where we can see, current generation chips on compact phones. Yeah. Samsung has this habit. This is something Samsung would very well do because that's what they're currently doing with their Tab S series. Every single year you get last year's Tab. Okay, the Tab S3 is an excellent tablet, but it should have come out last year. It doesn't have an iris scanner. It's got a fingerprint sensor. It doesn't have the 835 or the Exynos 8895. It's got the 820. Come on, Samsung. You can't blame them as well, but then it's good marketing for them. But see, people just wait for us to start shooting and come out. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep rolling, guys.
What do you think about iPhone billboard ads? Red phone with red background, jet black phone with black background.
What do you think will happen if you actually give me a thumbnail?
That's exactly what I thought.
Background.
See, but that's what big brands do.
Okay. Okay, guys,
That's the
get
tactic.
ready.
That's the...
Get ready for, black phones with black backgrounds as Sundar's thumbnails now. Oh, Apple.
I'm gonna try it. See, this is a point where I get to try a lot with the thumbnails. Because you don't expect a lot from me with regards to thumbnails.
Okay, tell me, what do you think about Red on Red? He makes amazing thumbnails. They are so amazing that I get overawed by their awesomeness that I get to shoot them again.
I've come across many other reviews of Honor 8
No,
Pro.
what about the previous one? What do you think about it? Red on red, black on black?
It's not bad. It doesn't look bad, look at it.
It doesn't look bad. But then don't you think it would look better if it was a contrasting background? If it was like a yellow background.
Yellow.
Yellow on red. It's a contrast. I mean, like, let's even say white
You're
on red.
obsessed with yellow, but...
Okay, what about white on red?
White on red? Yeah, that's what they did with the phone itself and people didn't like it.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think red on red works well? What do you think? I mean, at least because it's Apple, it works well. Media almost full. Oh my god, you're awesome. Next up, quick.
I've come across many other reviews of Honor 8 Pro. Some were saying there is no OIS in it.
Yes, my public apology. I messed up. It does not have OIS. I just got so confused with all the different Honor models that I actually thought it did. It didn't. But the moment I came to know about it, I added an edit in the description and pinned a comment saying, apologizing for the same. It does not have OIS. The stability that I saw with the videos was because of the EIS. And what do you say? The low light images, that's why it defaults to 1/13th of a second because of the lack of OIS. I did that research. I actually went down and looked at the shutter speeds, and then I thought, man, something doesn't add up. Why is it doing 1/13th with OIS? And I didn't ask myself, it doesn't have OIS. I didn't. It was just a little
Some phones still do the same thing, right?
I know. That's what I thought about. I immediately thought about your Mi 6 thing, and I thought maybe this is also doing the same thing. But turns out it wasn't. So my bad. My apologies, guys. I'm sorry. I will try to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again in the future. It wasn't because of a lack of research. It was just that I got confused with all the different Honor models, or rather Huawei models have been covering, and because this phone shares so much with so many other phones, it kind of got confusing. Forget the excuses. I'm sorry. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do we need an antivirus app in our Android smartphone?
No. That's it. No. Most of them are worthless. They just want to
take up a lot of resources.
And they don't do anything. I mean, Google has quite a good system for detecting malicious apps. So use that. Download stuff from the Play Store. Download stuff from reputed developers. Be nice to one another. Let's work towards building a better world. Next up, we're running out of storage space. Move.
Yeah, that's it.
So those are all the questions I picked for today's episode of Ash Answers. If you found the questions interesting, if you found the questions better than the last 2 episodes, go ahead, leave a comment, say #PoorAsh or #Sundar discriminates. But if you didn't like the questions, you can still say Sundar discriminates and pretend that Sundar picked the questions. That's totally fine by me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button down below. And when you're at it, I mean, like, if you hated the video, but if you did like the video, and if you want to see Sundar get a haircut, you could follow that tweet. I'm just saying.
Is it a new outro thing now?
Yes, it should be a new intro thing. Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Tech along with my co-host Sundar. I mean, he's got all this hair. If you want to cut it, there's a tweet in the description. Go ahead, retweet it. And welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Alright, let's
actually
finish the video and then
keep
talking.
Okay. Alright. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching.
Hit that bell icon. Don't forget to hit that bell
icon if you already subscribed, so that you get notified each time a new video goes live here on C4 Tech. And that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this here is Ash along with my co-host Sundar.
Media near full. Come on.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it. Yes. Go on.
Leaving for the moment.
Have a nice day. Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Tech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Forgot the pen drive.
See what I've got to put up with. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Tokyo Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Who's Tokyo Sundar?
Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Sundar, who has actually gotten his pen drive. Welcome to another episode of Ash Answers.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer the questions that you ask on Twitter.
Oh my god, I tied that up well. I had no clue what I was saying. All those things kept forming in my head as I was talking. That is like cool. Like, you know, when you start saying something and you have no idea where you're going with it, but then you actually tie it up somewhere nicely.